Hey guys, Journal Go here. I'm back. Thanks for showing up. Okay, let's get started. Alright, so this video is just going to be about the adventure of the application process. You see, in the end of September, somewhere around September, my friend told me about this job, and I've been working towards getting it ever since. There's 3 phases. The first phase being making sure that you have everything and getting everything done. The second phase being applying. The third phase being the interview. And then, after the interview, you wait, you see if you get the job. I didn't get the job. But that's totally okay with me because that means that I get to spend my summer with my family, I get to sleep in my own bed, I get to do a job that I'm already familiar with and have fun there without a certain somebody. I get to go to the Ninja Turtles premiere, Out of Shadows, the second latest CGI real life one. I get to go see that in theaters, and every single day that it's in theaters, I get to come to Edmonton and see my other friends who are here. I get to do a lot of things, and I get to go to the lake, I get to have control, I don't have to be away from my family, and so that part I'm totally okay with. I would have loved the job, would have given me a lot of experience, I would have gave me a reassurance about the path I'm taking in life, but that's okay. It's okay not to have gotten the job because I feel like there must be a reason that I didn't. And that's why I'm okay with it. It's just opening the door to the right path for this year. In further years, it's very likely that I'm going to apply again, but I'm okay with not being in it right now. Because I think you shouldn't worry about getting the job. You shouldn't worry, it shouldn't be a negative thing, it shouldn't be, oh, I hope I don't get the job. And I can't say I hoped that I didn't get the job, I just wasn't certain I totally wanted the job after that. Back to the beginning. So, the first process was the process of collecting everything. So, Emerald told me about this, and so we looked it up online, and we were like, okay, so these are all the things that we need. Drivers, you need to have your driver's license, you need to have defensive driving certificate, you needed to be able to complete this fitness test, you needed to have your first aid, you needed to have, you need to be 18 or something like that. You needed to have some other stuff. You needed to fill out these forms. You need to have a resume, a cover letter, all this stuff. So, half of these things I didn't have. I had some of them, which is okay, like my driver's license, and I'm 18, and I've had my first aid before. I know how to drive defensively. I just didn't have that stuff specifically. And the night that we were looking at these things, Emerald and I went out and we took the fitness exam, and I passed, and so we signed that off immediately. But I took my green defensive driving certificate online throughout the week while I was at university. Then I went away sometime in January, I believe it was. I left Friday, drove back to my hometown, picked up Emerald, took her to Hinton, we stayed at my auntie's, woke up the next morning early, went to the first aid course on Saturday, went to the first aid course on Sunday, got my first aid, came back to her place, woke up at her place on Monday, drove back to the city, got to my place, changed, got to the school for classes. So that was kind of hectic. Getting all these things and doing all this stuff during university is just kind of the first process, the first phase, the collection phase of making sure that you have everything you need to apply was pretty time-consuming for my university schedule. But you know what? Got through it. It got me all this really cool stuff, all this stuff that I think is great and things that you'll be able to use further on down the road, which is awesome because I like having first aid. That's awesome. I like having a green defensive driving certificate. That's great. And there's something else that I'll tell you. later on. So the second phase was actually applying. You needed to have applied by a certain date, like have your resume and everything by a certain date. Now, I did, because the day that we got back, that Sunday night, we got back to Edson, and I went to her place, and her mom helped me apply, because we had to take everything I had, which I got my mom to like find and print off for me. So I got my envelope of all my stuff. I took it to Emerald's place. We had to take everything and we had to scan it through to the computer, crop it in the computer, place it into a file, place that file into an email document, and as if all of that weren't enough, and trying to annotate my signature and everything, as if all of that wasn't tricky enough, we still had to do 2 different surveys that were basically a bunch of questions, and they were fine. I mean, whatever, it's just it was time consuming. But the biggest issue came when we're trying to upload these files to the email. And they were all uploading, so we waited hours, and it was around midnight by this point. We were already waiting hours for these things to upload. And then when they uploaded, it said, failed to upload. And we had been waiting hours, and that was so painful. So I ended up having to apply with my adolescent email, journalgirl16@hotmail.com. Yeah, I had to use that one instead of drefner@ualberta.ca, which is way more professional, but you know what, okay. And I said I'd laugh if it worked, and guess what? You shouldn't say you'll laugh, because it freaking worked, and that sucked. I actually had to end up leaving all these files to upload while we slept through the night, and then I woke up at 6 and we checked, and they're like, oh, okay, they uploaded. And then we had to send it away. I waited for it to send before I scooted a boot out to the city. So that was the second phase. So clearly the phases keep getting harder. Then came the final and most ridiculous phase, the interview, or the interview type process phase, because they sent me an email after, like 5 days after the applications were supposed to be the application deadline. They sent me an email 5 days after telling me to book an interview. So I immediately got on the phone and booked an interview for, I think it was Friday, because I could miss that Friday, I guess, for school. And that was another thing. I had to book an interview at a point in time which made me have to miss 2 of my classes. So I had all this planned out, everything. I booked my interview, I was ready to go, and then the day of my interview, I got back to my place, ready to get my stuff and go to the thing, and I checked my phone, and I seen that I had a voicemail, and I seen that I had an email. I read the email, and that pretty much told me what was in the voicemail. I listened to the voicemail, and I was super confused, so I called him back. I left him a message, he called me back, and then the interviewer, he called me back, and then he asked me, were you able to get your GDL removed from your license? And this was something that not Emerald, not Bernice, nor myself had seen on the application, was that it had to be an advanced Class 5 license, meaning that you have to remove the GDL, meaning that at a minimum you have to be 18, because 14, 16, 18, 2 years after you get your license, you get the chance to remove the graduated driver's license tag from your license, meaning you're a fully classified driver, and you don't have to take another exam until you're 80. So, I was like, what? I was very upset. Yeah, so that happened. And then he basically told me that I shouldn't have gotten to this point in the process at all, because I still had the GDL on it, but because I did, he was willing to let me keep going if I could get the GDL removed. And I was like, well, that's a pretty big if, because I have to book an appointment to remove it. and the closest place is Hinton, so I had to go 3 hours away. So I hung up, I called Bernice crying, and I was like, what do I do? And so she helped me out, she sent me the number, I called them, I booked an interview appointment. The closest one was 2 weeks later, a week after the interview process was supposed to be closed. Then I called him back, told him about this, he said okay, and we booked an interview for the day after it. So I was supposed to call him on the 23rd of February to tell him whether I got my driver's license or not, like whether I passed the exam. And I did, so then I called him to tell him that the interview was, or I emailed him to tell him that the interview was still on because it was already the end of the day by that point, and the next day I go to the interview. Honestly, I thought the interview went really well. There were a few issues. I think the worst part about the interview was that it was so friendly. Because it was friendly, I was more myself, and sometimes myself isn't so great. I guess maybe I'm too happy-go-lucky that it doesn't seem professional, or maybe I just didn't know enough about the job, but that's okay. Because like I said, it was a great experience, made him laugh a lot. It was nice to have an interview where you didn't feel like you were being judged so heavily. But, you know, I did stress all of this stuff to him at the end of the interview, though. He asked if there was anything else that I wanted to talk about, and I told him, well, I just wanted to tell you the journey I took to get here, because this was quite an experience. I put in so much effort into this, and I don't regret that. That's why I'm okay with not having the job, is because I did every single thing that I could do to get that job, and clearly it's not the right way to go if I didn't get the job. So that's okay. Yeah, so I suffered through the first phase of collecting everything, the second phase of applying, and the third phase of the interview. I didn't get the job, but like I said, I have a job at home, and I feel like this summer is going to be really great. The only downfall is not going to be able to make a lot of money, but that's okay. I also wanted to mention just a few little things that I was thinking about. One, no messages from my stalker. Like I told you guys that I got a message the day that I was making that video. He sent me a message, but the video uploaded. I don't know if he watched it or not, but I'm not gonna question it because I haven't gotten a message from him, and I'm feeling very happy and free again. As well, something I find kind of interesting, there's been no Nicole Arbor videos since the second helping came out, and I reviewed it, but I don't think my review was any sort of like hindrance. I just think it's kind of funny that she went back to that taboo place, and once again, no videos coming out from her. I don't know, I'm not gonna judge it, not gonna say anything. There just hasn't been a video out from her. And the final thing, I just want to discuss International Women's Day. I'm not gonna like talk about my views on International Women's Day because, I mean, whatever. I don't need to get into that. And it's not a good or a bad thing. Don't even like question what my views on International Women's Day are. I'm just saying that's not what I'm talking about. I just wanted to ask, how do you celebrate International Women's Day? If you have any ideas, please put it in the comments below. But I'm like, how do you celebrate International Women's Day? I bet Wade has some ideas. Deadpool reference. It's kind of funny because I was questioning all this stuff, and then I looked on Facebook, and my one friend had posted this. But yeah, nothing too dramatic for this week, just really keeping you guys in the loop, telling you about my life and stuff. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy me talking about stuff, but what to say? If you have any like stuff to say about any of this, you could just like put it in the comments below. If you have any tips on how to get a job, you could like put it in the comments below. If you have any experience or any like stories about job applications or job interviews, like put it in the comments below. But otherwise, man, like maybe give this thing a thumbs up or like subscribe. Either way, it's good. I don't care as long as you're happy. But guess what time it is? It's time for Quote of the Week. Failure is the first step to success. I can't. She just started playing piano. Is that in the video? Can you hear that? Anyway, I guess that's my cue to leave. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked it, yep, click it. If you like everything that I do, yeah, kind of subscribe. Either way, I'm good. If you have any thoughts, please put them in the comments below because I'd love to know what you're thinking. It's awesome. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Okay, this has been Juno Girl. Have a fantastic week. Love you guys. Hope you're okay. See ya. I realized I wasn't like looking into the camera, but see ya.